What's going on, guys? Today I have to. There's something wrong with my girlfriend's mini Pro Tank 2, so I'm rebuilding that today. And since I had it down here, and also had her old mini Pro Tank 1 down here, I'm actually probably just gonna like keep the bottom part and the atomizer that's in it and throw the rest away because it broke. Like the glue at the bottom edge is coming out, so the bottom pulled out, so it's leaks. So we can't use it. So I wanted to do a little tank review before I did this. Unfortunately, I can't vape this mini Pro Tank because it's broken, and I would vape my mini Pro Tank, but since I have to rebuild this is her only tank left. Mine's upstairs on her on her Vision Spinner, so I can't vape that right now either. But I can give a pretty good review on both of them, and then I also have my EVOD, which has become my favorite recently, although you are limited on vape or on juices that you can vape, but it is great. Well, I'll get to that, but I wanted to do the Mini Pro Tank 1 first. It's a pretty good tank. It holds 1.5 mils. I have had a lot of issues with gurgling, which it's apparently a bad thing, but I actually enjoy the noise, like the little gurgle and pop. It's nice for me. Since I had the holes Dremeled on mine and hers, they do tend to gunk up, and this almost became dangerous. I think I mentioned this in another video when it was overheating because there was no airflow. So that can be bad. So if you have one of these and you have the holes Dremeled or you don't, make sure you clean your air holes out. I think with like this one's, the Mini Pro Tank 2's holes aren't Dremeled, if you can see that. So if you have Kanthal wire, a little bit of 28 gauge Kanthal wire or 30 gauge, if you're using 30 gauge, will fit in there nicely to clean that out. The rivets on the Pro Tank 1, they need to be cleaned a lot. You just take like a Q-tip and get in there and take it, unscrew it, get into the top, get into the rivets in the bottom of the tank right here, like these rivets right in there, and you'll see a lot of gunk. That's not fun. And also clean like right underneath your atomizer or your clearomizer's base on the bottom of the battery. Excuse me, it's coffee time. So this one's good. The thing I don't like about both of these is the metal tip. The metal tip tends to hurt one of my teeth because I'll put it here and right on my tooth right there. So the metal tends to make it hurt and makes it kind of unpleasant to vape after a while. And I mean Other than I love that they're glass. So I love that I have so much of a variety in juice. So for at home, for me, glass clearomizers are my preferred. I know a lot of people like RDAs. If I had the money for an RDA, I'd be vaping an RDA at home. I'd be dripping. But I don't. I'm poor. I don't have a very low vaping budget. I have just about enough for my juice every month, which is about I vape maybe 30 mils a month. It's anywhere between half a mil and a mil a day. So it's around 30 mils. So like right now I'm just vaping Dragon Blood, which I think is my new favorite. It's Dragon Blood with 3 drops of menthol in a 15 ml bottle. Very, very tasty. It's like Hawaiian Punch and pink lemonade, and also bubblegum at the same time. It's really interesting. Very nice, smooth vape. It doesn't burn. I can vape it at any temperature I want. At any voltage I want, and it's still good. So the Pro Tank 2. I do love the fact that it is rebuildable. And I was actually I think my girlfriend unscrewed the glass part and screwed it on wrong because it's crooked. So that's actually why I brought it down today, because I have to. I'm gonna clean it out, take it apart, and then put it back together so it's not crooked, because it was vaping wrong because it was crooked. I haven't been able to vape this much because it's hers and I don't really need to bother to use it. But I have noticed that the holes haven't been Dremeled, and it still vapes fine. It vapes on par with my holes Dremel, the ProTank 1 that I have with the holes Dremelled. So that's great. It is slightly heavier, and I think it's thinner and a little taller. It's like very, very, very slightly taller. Also the metal tip, that's why I have an issue with these. So the ProTanks I use at home, and then the EVOD, which is a plastic tank, is what I use when I'm out and about, because I've dropped my vaporizer a couple times, and it's kind of a heart-shattering moment when you look down and you dropped your vaporizer and it's got a glass Clearo, and they're not cheap. This is a $15 Clearomizer, and the vape store that I was going to closed, so I have to go all the way, I have to go like 30 miles to get a new Clearomizer that day if I don't want to order online. So the plastic tank, although you have limited choices, this is my out and about tank, and it's actually become my favorite tank because it's so comfortable to vape, and I love the plastic tip. Although this holds less, this holds 1 mil of e-juice, and I also have these holes Dremel. So I like the fact that it's plastic, so it's harder to break, but I also don't like the fact that it's plastic because you have less of a choice in e-juice. And actually I was afraid to put the e-juice that I have in here because I wasn't sure if menthol was going to crack the tank. So I was taking a risk there, but I mean, these are cheaper. I spent $8 on this tank, so I guess it's not a big deal. The one issue I am having with this is because I've been rebuilding my atomizers, so I've been putting a little bit longer of a wick than I was supposed to because I'm new at it and I'm not good at trimming the wick down, and so I've been like pushing the wick up down the atomizer stem, and when I'm screwing in the atomizer to this tank, sometimes I'll have an issue with, or I'm sorry, when I'm screwing the tank onto the atomizer, I'll have an issue with the atomizer coming loose, and then trying to vape and not being able to, having to take it apart, re-screw it in, and then readjust the wick, and getting juice everywhere, so I'm wasting like a quarter tank of juice just trying to get it to work. And I had to do that like 3 or 4 times just right before this video because I was refilling my tank. But I like this. I love the plastic tip. It's so comfortable. Oh, that's good. And I gotta say, these I don't know how many ohms it is, but usually with these microcoils for the Vision spinners and the Ego batteries, you're supposed to use 12 wraps on your Kanthal. I'm using 8 on this one, and I'm getting much better vaping, or much better vapes. Smaller coil. I don't know what that does, but it does give a very good vape. Another thing I did not like about this tank is that the window on the tank, you can't really see through it unless you have a really dark juice. So I can't tell when this is empty. I have to take it apart and then like look in it and like tip it so I can see the juice moving, and I'm like, oh, there's a little bit left in there. And then when I put it back together, I'll lose it, so I'm like, well, now I have to just take it apart again and refill it. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not really looking to get a bigger tank because this is fine. I know some people vape a lot. Like, I've seen people that go through, I don't know how, but they go through like 30 mils a day. I can understand if you're dripping, you can go through quite a lot. But that's a lot of e-juice for me. I couldn't. The most I've ever been able to do is like 2, and I was trying, and I killed my battery. Oh, that happened to me yesterday. I went on my 10-minute break at work, and I was like, oh, finally I get to sit down. It's been like 5 hours, get to sit down and enjoy a vape. Sit down, take one puff, the battery dies, because I wasn't able to charge it the night before. So make sure you always charge your e-cigarette, and maybe keep a backup. I was actually at a vape shop, and they were selling little tiny Ego batteries that they were just trying to get rid of for like $6, and they were like 300 mAh batteries, so it would have lasted a couple hours if that, maybe a good hour of vaping. But if your e-cigarette runs out, you can keep it in your glove compartment, and you've got backup. Just make sure you charge it whenever you use it. So I'm actually looking to upgrade to the MVP2, and as soon as I get a chance to do that, I'm actually looking for another job right now, because I work part-time at a pizza place, and then when I can, I do construction, and that's not stable. I haven't had a construction job in quite a while now. So what I'm actually trying to get out of food, because I've been working in food my whole life. I was trying to be a chef. But so right now I'm looking for a job in IT, where it would be nice to have a job like I don't know what I'm talking about this, but I want a nice office job, because a lot of office jobs around here will actually let you vape while you work, especially in the line of IT that I'm looking into, where you just sit like a game moderator or a beta tester, something that I can get my foot in the door while I go to school. So it would be nice to be able to work and vape. Although when I'm at work, we have like a walk-in freezer, and that's while I'm doing something in there, I'll take a couple puffs. But yeah, so for ease of use, I guess not ease of use, but for comfort, and I do get better clouds out of this. I like to go with the EVOD, and also it looks a little more, even though it's plastic, it looks more solid to me. I haven't had a leaking problem with these two. This one, if you don't rebuild it properly, you have issues, so that's user error. And then this one is not rebuildable, so when it breaks, it breaks, and when it breaks, it's dead. You can't fix it. There are people, I'm assuming, that could, maybe put some paint thinner in there, get the glue out, clean it all out real good, and then re-glue it back on, but that's really not effective, like an effective way to do it, or an effective way to keep a tank going. But, yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to do a quick video, because I've been using my EVOD a lot more lately. I'd only really been using it for the past few days for the bottom piece, so I could wick and test atomizers, because when you have a full tank on your other one, you don't really have any way to prop it upside down. I was glad that I had the second tank to do that, so that was really nice. So yeah, just a couple issues with this, but other than that, I love it. So what I would suggest is there are better tanks. I just don't have money for better tanks. I think the iClears and I saw one the other day where it has it's like a wick system instead of an atomizer. I guess it has an atomizer, but it has wicks coming out the top, and there's a new one coming out where the wicks are covered by a metal screen inside. So that's probably a better bet, and I think it actually had adjustable airflow. All the things that I can't afford, but they're awesome. I wish I had more to say. I'm still new to this. There will be more later when I can get more into this. I would really like an MVP2 right now. That's what I'm really looking into. Or an RDA would be really nice, so that I could have maybe, I don't know if you can make this into an RDA. I don't know if that's doable, but I'll look into it. But yeah, this is probably going to be the last video for a couple weeks. But until then, I'll see you guys. Have a great month, week. Enjoy your vape, charge your shit, drink water. All of that. Just all of the things that you're supposed to say. You know what I mean. Have a good day, guys.